Okay, guys, we are going to be talking about belief versus faith versus trust. What are these things? What's the difference? How are they presented? Examples, all of the above, okay? Okay, just starting out with belief, as we know that belief is usually the beginning. That's usually where you're starting, right in the beginning of your Christian walk, of your journey of building your relationship with God. You know, the scripture John 3:16, so whoever believes in him shall not perish but shall have eternal life. But basically, you believe who Jesus says he is, and that gives you the opportunity to be forgiven for your sin and to start this journey. Okay, so we wanted to start there because of how this is like the first step. It's just like the sky is blue. Okay, we believe that, right? That's a belief. You believe that the sky is blue. Now this is so because there is evidence to show that the sky is blue. There might not always be evidence or firm evidence in a belief. You know, I mean, when it's more controversial, when there's more things involved, more factors, it's not as easy to say just like that the sky is blue, you know, or 1 + 1 = 2. Sometimes there's more to it, just like a trial or a case. You have to look at the evidence, you have to scan, and then you come to a conclusion like, hey, I believe that this person did or did not do this thing. Now that may or may not be true. We don't actually always know, but that's just kind of where that's at. So a belief is something that's like, hey, this is true to me. I believe this is true. That's where the belief is started and where it's rooted. And when we're speaking in regards to Christ, we believe that he died for our sins and he rose again. That's our belief. We stand on that firm. That's the very, very beginning of this journey. Now, after we venture from this belief that we have, we start to trickle into faith. Now, faith is action-based. You don't necessarily need to have an action to believe that the sky is blue. The sky can be blue, that's it, you keep on moving. But with faith, there is an action that is applied to the belief. Now, you believe that the sky is blue, and because of this, I may decide to, or we'll use something a little bit more different, like we believe that the sun is going to shine, and the sun is shining, the sun is in the sky, the sun is going to shine today. So because I believe this, I'm going to wear a dress. Or I believe that the sun is hot. Because I believe this, I'm going to wear something that's a little bit lighter. I'm not going to wear my sweater because I believe the sun is hot, and I have faith in the fact that the sun is going to be hot when the sun is up, and I'm going to wear something that's a little bit warmer. Now, this is a little bit more of a goofy analogy, but what I was using before is the news people, the weather people who analyze the weather. Those are people, I use this as an example in regards to faith. So now we're getting into the point. So if the weather people tell you that tomorrow it's going to rain, do you believe it or not? Now, I know this is a controversial topic. Don't read too much into this. We could go on and on about if the weather is actually going to be accurate or not. But we're just, for this purpose, we're going to say, yes, I believe that it's going to rain tomorrow because the weather people said that it is. Now, adding on to this belief and including faith, I have faith in the fact that they said it's going to rain tomorrow. Now, this is showing faith by having an action. I'm going to bring an umbrella with me. I'm going to cancel my beach day. I might reschedule a party that was going to be outside to the inside. Might send out a few messages, cancel some plans. Now, this right here is an example. We have more extreme cases when there's going to be a hurricane or a tornado. We have faith in the fact that they're telling us this information with assurance, with knowledge that this thing is going to actually happen. We go to the store, we stock up, we do the measures required because we believe, even though this hurricane or this tornado or this event hasn't occurred yet, we're already taking action. That is more implementing faith because there's an action behind the belief that these people are who they say they are. They went to school, they got a degree, they know what they're talking about, they're studying this thing, so I don't have to. So I can believe that what they're saying is true. And now I'm going to have faith in that belief. I'm going to apply it into my life, and I am going to take whatever actions are necessary in order to implement this faith. Now we can pertain this back to Christ easily, and I'll just do a small one and get a little bit more deeper on it, but it's just as simple as having faith in who God says he is. If you have faith in who God says he is, you have belief that he's going to do what he says he's going to do, you're going to take action in the matter of that. If God tells you, I'm going to pay that bill, is there anything you need from me, God? Asking him, what actions do I need to take in regards for either paying this bill being paid, if there's anything you need from me, or if he's got it handled, it's okay, God, I trust you, trust is the next level, but I believe that this is gonna be, I believe and I have faith that this is something that you're gonna do. Now I'm going to continue on as if it's already done. I'm gonna have actions implemented. Now I know this bill is paid, I can use this money over here to get groceries or whatever it may be. It's showing that action. Now the trust aspect, it does apply the same way for that. That's why I said it there, but that's because you have trust in the fact that God's gonna do this thing because it's already been built. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, so we're going to go back to our analogy talking about the weather people. So they tell you it's going to rain tomorrow. All right, I believe in this channel because these people, this news channel, I heard someone say something about it. I checked it out. I believe that they know what they're talking about. I may not be totally certain, if they're going to get it right every time, but I believe that for the most part, they're at least got their credentials. They know what they're doing. Now I'm watching the news. They're telling me, hey, it's going to rain tomorrow. Get yourselves a umbrella, a rain jacket, a poncho, whatever it may be. I'm like, all right, I did need to go run some errands, and I was planning on going to the park later, but I'm going to cancel that plan because I believe what they're telling me is true. Now I'm stepping into the realm of faith because I'm putting action on it. I'm canceling my plans. I'm going to do some things today that I might have done tomorrow, or maybe I'll go to the park the next day and things like that. So that's instilled right there, all right? Now we're stepping into trust. So the next day it rains. It actually does rain. Now they have proof. Now they have things to back up what they're saying is true. They were correct. And now I'm like, okay, I believe them a little bit more. I have a little bit more faith in these people because they were right. They told me that it was going to rain and it rained. Next week, they're telling me, hey, it's going to be 80 degrees tomorrow. Wear something nice. I'm like, okay, well, last time they told me it rained, it did. So I think that these people know what they're talking about. So tomorrow I'm going to plan to go to the park. I'm going to schedule it. I'm going to wear a dress. I'm going to, have an outside day. I might decide I'm going to go to the beach, actually. Rearrange some things. It's 80 degrees the next day. They were correct again. Now trust is being built. Now I have a relationship that's being built with these people because they've shown me twice or 3 or 4 times that what they're saying is true, that they know what they're talking about, that they're accurate, that they're studying, that they have put in the diligent work in order to give me accurate information. Now I'm building a trust with this news channel. Now I see this news channel saying, my channel that I've been watching, telling me, hey, it's going to rain tomorrow. Get you an umbrella, get you a poncho. And now I have another news channel that's saying, oh, well, it's just going to be cloudy, but it's not going to rain. So don't worry about it. Now I have a relationship with my news channel. I've been able to accurately get an understanding from them multiple times. Hey, they were right. It did rain. It was sunny. They've been accurate. Who am I going to believe? I'm going to believe my channel, and I'm going to prepare for rain. Even if this channel with news people, with people who have an understanding, is telling me that it's just going to be cloudy. But that's because I don't have a bond with them. I don't have a trust with them. I haven't built it to that point. Yes, I believe that news people know what they're talking about, but I don't necessarily know specifically regarding these news people, their accuracy, or if they know what they're talking about. So I trust my news channel. It rains. Now look at this. Now I have built a level of trust that I can rely on them. That right there is where you're showing those stages right there, and we can trickle into doubt and things like that, but I want to circle back into pertaining this more biblically and to Christ first, and giving an example in regards to me. So I'm going to pertain this to things, but I'm not going to touch specifically on the try not to touch too much on the doubt part of things just quite yet. So when we're talking about belief, faith, and trust, I wanted to use the example. Well, I was studying it, and the example is Peter. So Peter believed that Jesus was the Son of God. That was established. He said that. He believed that. That was instilled right then and there. Okay, but later it came more into faith. Now, this is something that the disciples struggled with, and we do as well, is the unbelief aspect that ties into faith. The two things are kind of intertwined, if you may, and it can be difficult to stand strong on that faith when those unbelief moments are coming in. But you have to remember that the unbelief moments are coming in because the trust isn't where it needs to be yet. These are still the beginning stages of this relationship. You have to remember that. So when they're talking about the bread and feeding the people, that is an example of, we're like, hey, well, how are we going to feed these people? They believe that Jesus is who he says he is, but their faith isn't fully where it needs to be in regards to that he can feed this many people, because the trust isn't all the way established. They're still learning about him. They're still figuring out, what is this? What is going on? What does this mean? How is this possible? They're still getting an understanding of all these things. So trust is still being built, and that's where the question steps in. It's just like when Peter walked on the water. Now, this is an example of faith. There was faith being shown in Peter taking the step out of the boat when Jesus told him, like, hey, come out. He was able to apply his belief that Jesus was who he says he was, and he was able to apply it into action, into his life. Like, he's telling me to come, that means, hey, I can come. So he's like, all right, okay, I'm going to take a step of faith. He's going to take a step into the water. He's going to jump out there, give it, have some faith in it. Now everybody else, hey, but he did. He took that leap of faith, and this is how trust is built. He took that leap, and he was able to stand on the water. Now there is a level of trust being established because he told me to come out. I came out, and I stood on the water. I didn't drown. Now, in the moment of this happening, he did begin to doubt, and that opened the door for him to start to sink. That right there was, okay, the trust wasn't all the way where it needed to be. I trusted him to step out there. I trusted him to stand on the water, but I may not have trusted him to take all the steps I needed to reach him. That right there can show how there is a level, there is a limit, there is a measure of how far you actually are in your faith or in your trust in the relationship with God. And this is what I wanted to touch on too, because there is amount of trust or faith you can have that it's not all the way there. Not necessarily trust, but faith. Faith is something that's increasing. Faith is something that grows. Faith is something where you are continuing to grow in that area, in that department. So when you're talking in regards to faith, you may have faith in one area with God, but the faith might not be that strong in another area. Like, I may have faith, in the fact that God is going to pay my bills, but I may not have faith in the fact that God's going to get me a new job and is going to increase the amount of money that I have. There can be areas where you have more faith or trust in others. I may have faith that God is going to wake my child up in the morning or wake me up in the morning, but I might not trust him in the aspect of, or have enough faith in regards to, if my kid goes somewhere that is unsafe, that he's going to protect him, or whatever it may be. But there's levels to it. It's not always, it's not all the way there all the time. And the thing about this that I love so much, God is going to meet you where you're at. He is not asking you like, hey, I need you to believe in Jesus. I need you to have 100% faith in every area of your life that I'm going to do this thing for you. And you just have to walk in that. You have to act in that. There's no building of trust. There's no nothing. Like, I said it, do it. Like, yeah, that's it. that is not God. It doesn't even feel right saying that he could even do something like that. He is a loving and merciful God who has a lot of grace. He will meet you where you're at. He will take the time out to come to you where you're at in your faith, where you're at in your trust, or where you're at in your belief with him, and he will meet you there, and he will help you to build it higher. He will reveal to you, hey, you're right here in your faith. You said that you trusted me with maybe the groceries, but you're not trusting me with all of your rent. You said, you trust that there's gonna be food, you're gonna have a roof over your head, but you're not trusting me in regards to how that is gonna get done. That right there is showing you that you need to increase your faith in this spot. He's going to reveal it to you, but I'm going to help you. We're going to take the steps needed in order for you to do that. We're going to take baby steps. We're not going to have to leap or jump or go too high. Now, some people have an incredible faith. Some people have that extra ability to just take that leap like Peter did, whereas the others didn't. And that's okay. That's great too. We love that. But we also are appreciative of the fact that not everybody is right there, and God is understanding of that. So you don't have to step out of the boat into the water. Maybe you just have to say like, hey, give it a second. Oh, that is Jesus, Now maybe if he holds my hand, I'll feel a little bit more confident in stepping out into the water, So it's just taking that aspect into consideration in the journey, and he's willing to do that. When I was in my process and in my journey, I didn't have to just jump into everything. He doesn't just pour it all on you. He doesn't overdo it. He doesn't take it to the point. And that says that God doesn't give you more than you can bear. Like, he doesn't. And I argue with that statement, but because he will give you more than you can bear, so you can rely on him. But that's not for this specific thing. He's not gonna overbear you in the sense that you are going to drown, or that you are going to just run away from him, or that it's too much, like you can't handle it. That point, there is still a level aligned with that. He still knows what you can handle, but it's to the extent of with him, with his help, but that's another video. We're going to stay focused here and continue talking about faith, talking about that level right there. So it's baby steps. So it might be something small that you trust him with. God, maybe I'm just going to trust you for the next month that I'm going to be able to have gas in my car. I'm going to be able to get to everywhere I need to get to. And I'm trusting you with that. And it's that thing like, hey, I'm trusting him with that. Now I'm going to be able to build a little bit more, increase a little bit more on it. Or I have faith in him with that, then I'm going to increase a little bit, and the trust is going to start to build in that area. But that's just in that area. Now I trust him that there's going to be gas in my car. But now we have to look into the fact, okay, God, but do I trust you that there's going to be a complete payment on the rent if I don't have it? So there's a level, in regards to that. So there's a level in regards to that, and it's going to get to the point that I'm going to reach the level of, God, I trust you with all my bills. I trust you with all my bills, all my finances, my job, my children, my future, my career, my everything. I trust you with the protection of my child. I trust you that when they're at the school, you've got your hand on them. I trust you that no matter what is happening, I can have trust in you, rely in you, lean on you, because you have shown me over and over and over that you are faithful. Now, it might not be right away, it might not be in every area, but it is something that is built, and it does get to that level in a relationship. That's the point here. We're building a relationship. You're not going to go to a stranger and be like, hey, watch my kid. I'm going to go, run a few errands and I'll be back. No one's going to do that because you don't trust this person. You don't have faith that they're going to keep your child safe in order to, or even believe that they're going to do this thing. That's the very bare minimum. That's how it is when we're starting with our relationship with him. Now, maybe it's not the same for him, but there is that level for us of us getting to the point of meeting him where he's at with us in regards to the relationship. And then from there, it is built, and it goes vice versa. God needs to be able to trust you. He needs to be able to have faith in you that you're going to do what you said you're going to do. That's also built. That is shown in time. time. That is shown with your faithfulness. That is shown that, hey, I'm waking up every morning and I'm praying. Hey, I'm going on this fast and I'm committed to this fast and I'm finishing this fast. He's going to see that and he's going to be, okay, now I can trust this person because consistently they've shown up in their actions, you know? And that is the level that it's a relationship in both sides of things. So he can be able to go to you, be like, hey, I need you to do this thing for me, and you're going to do it. Versus someone else, it's like, I can't go to them because I already know that they're not going to do what I need them to do. Like, that is really the importance of that bond there.